Per Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet, last-minute possibility. Hearing Brad Marchand could be traded to...
Nope.
This will really check your behind.
No.
The Florida Panthers.
Oh, that's not okay.
Kachuk me.
Wait a minute. That's not okay.
It's 304.
Yeah, it's 304. Why,
why is it?
Why are we making trades after the deadline here, Elliot?
Because, again, all that has to happen is the deal has to be into the league office by 3 p.m.
It doesn't have to be finalized by 3.
It doesn't have to be reported by 3. The trade call needs to be made to the league office by 3 o'clock. It can reach reporters after the 3 o'clock deadline.
I do not care for this if it goes through because, to say it again, this is Elliot Friedman, hearing Brad Marchand could be traded to Florida. That's a weird phrasing by the preeminent hockey reporter. Because if it's in with the league office, it means it should have been filed, as Ted said, by 3 p.m., which means he's being traded to Florida. But that language aside, Fitzy asked me about frickin' Carolina. There's something worse than Carolina, and that is Florida. Now I got to watch Brad Marchand join the Florida Panthers. He'll actually fit in with them, just an aside.
I was going to say, actually, he's probably a perfect fit.
Perfect.
By the way, quick note, I just want to say, during your well-worded, tight and terse three-point stance, you asked at one point, you know where Joe Mazzulla is going? Right up and I think I and the rest of the audience was like, please tell me this is not going someplace else. And you said up my ladder.
Well, you know what's going up
job.
my other thing? This trade. I wanted Brad Marchand traded, but if you had given me, Ted, a list of teams I didn't want to see him play for, Florida would be on that list.
I kind of love the chaos. It's fun.
Let's now that everybody knows kind of what's
Yes, Dan Ball.
Still pending league call from Pierre LeBrun, but told Brad Marchand is going to Florida.
Okay, he updated his language.
Whoa.
Is going to
Florida. This is
Florida.
Pierre LeBrun, so this is TSN versus Sportsnet.
No, I mean, he updated the language that was previous that I didn't like. Is going to is the better language.
Yes,
so I like Pierre's language. That means he's going to Florida.
Oh, my gosh, that means next Tuesday night, the Bruins are playing the Panthers. Brad Marchand may be skating across the ice to the other clubhouse. My ears and my face are on fire.
Now, I do wonder, could there be a physical involved here? Because he is injured. He is dealing with an injury. Does he need to pass a physical? Do they need to at least validate whatever the Bruins have told them about his health? You know, we saw one trade in the NBA that went through and then was reneged upon a couple days later. So this soap opera of Brad Marchand that we've been kind of living for months now won't be traded, could be traded, is traded. Is there a chance it even trickles into later today and even tomorrow?
Would you want to Fitzy, you want to do yours for 3 point?
Zero chance anybody wants to hear me talk about the Patriots right
well,
now.
Then let's just scrap that then. You know, to me this is great news. This is great news. I was about to my 3-point stance. It was about the Red Sox, but I was pivoting to the Bruins. If Brad Marchand wasn't dealt, because Trent Frederick, nice little haul for him. Okay, that's a start. Oh, Charlie Coyle all right. Now we're cooking. But it would have been half measures if Brad Marchand wasn't dealt either, and that's where I was going to lay into him. But if Brad Marchand has now gone to the Florida Panthers, I don't really care where he's gone as long as the Bruins get a good return for it. To me, bravo to the Bruins. Bravo, baby, because this is something they never really do. They've stepped out of their comfort zone. They needed to just rip the Band-Aid off. They did that if this is actually factual and this goes through. So I wanted to tip the cap to the Bruins today for doing what they needed to do and really what everybody felt needed to be done.
617-779-7937, reacting to the late-breaking would-be trade of Brad Marchand to the Florida Panthers. Yeah. We're getting sort of intermittent details here. Dan Ball, please monitor the social medias for any return because I'm hesitant to go a full Ted Johnson there. I like that he was traded. I wanted him traded. I need to see what they got for him. They better be at least one first-round pick.
All right, Elliot Friedman has also confirmed it. Ted, can I ask you a question?
Please.
And this is said just out of curiosity because when we first brought this possibility up a week or two ago, you weren't a fan of the idea of the Bruins trading their captain, trading kind of their heart and soul. So what shifted for you?
It wasn't that I was against it. It was I didn't think they'd do it.
Gotcha.
They've been leaning in so hard on this culture thing and building a culture, and everybody wants to play for the Bruins. And guys that come here, they stay here, they re-sign them. Everybody wants to play here, and so they're so comfortable with the same guys. I was basically, Dan, just saying that's what I think they're going to do. And I didn't think they'd have the chutzpah to do what they're doing right now. I just didn't see it in them because they hadn't done it before, and they've shown time and time again that they like to middle it and not completely just start over. And I thought maybe Don Sweeney was being advised by the Jacobs family to not completely tear off the Band-Aid, but and so that's why I had that opinion, Dan. But
understood.
It was more of just my feeling that they were going to do. I was hoping they would do what they're doing now, which is, to me, is great news, you guys. I mean, to me,
Elliot Friedman just reconfirmed it, guys. Deal.
Yeah, but
not even like pending league call.
The important thing for me will be the return. You got to get a first-round pick. You got a second for Frederick. Oh, absolutely.
No, you don't.
If you got a second for Frederick, you absolutely get a first-round pick for Brad Marchand.
That's fine. But even if you got a second-round pick.
Yes, Dan Ball.
We have more breaking news.
Jesus.
This is breaking news. Breaking news on WEEI is presented by the BetMGM Network. For all your betting needs, check out the newly rebranded BetMGM Network on the Odyssey app or locally on WEEI AM 850.
Teddy, another notch on the belt in the teardown. The Toronto Maple Leafs, per Chris Johnston of TSN and The Athletic, are getting defenseman Brandon Carlo.
Love it.
Jeez.
Love it.
Frederick gone. Coyle gone. Carlo gone. Marchand gone. Guess I don't need
there
to watch
you go,
the
Andy.
Bruins.
There's your rebuild, baby.
Oh, absolutely. It's on. You have your pillars. You have your Swayman, McAvoy, Pasta pillars, and some of those other guys, Lindholm. But you have everything that wasn't tied down to the deck of good ship Bruins is being sent packing. They are loading up. They already have multiple 2s, a 4, a 6. They're going to have, I got to think, at least another first-round pick here. More. Now it's going to put some focus on Don Sweeney's ability to draft, which has been questionable at times in recent years. But whatever word they choose to use, and believe me, Ted and Fitzy, I think they'll pick a word, whether that's retool, rebuild, however they kind of want to package whatever they're doing. It is on like Donkey Kong because this trade deadline went from like sort of sputtering to drunk at the end. They got really drunk. They did a few shots right before the 3 o'clock hour. This is
exciting.
Crazy.
I wasn't, I was driving to work listening to you guys, and I was like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I'm going to have to be mad at the Bruins, and it was half measures. They haven't learned a damn thing. And boy, have they surprised me. And you know what I commend them for, and I'm curious how you guys think about this, is when your team deals with other teams in your division or in your conference. I mean, you look at, if the Panthers reportedly are going to get Marchand and Toronto is reportedly going to get Brandon Carlo, those are your top 2 teams in the East. They're trading to the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and that should be okay. Like if that's where you were getting the best deal, who cares if they're they're in your division? So kudos to them for not caring about that.
Yeah, I don't love it as a fan having to watch it, but I said it earlier, the Drew Bledsoe deal. They offered a first-round pick. Drew Bledsoe goes in the division to the Bills. You gotta do business. What's best for the New England Patriots?
Yeah.
But the other thing, Fitzy, that just jumped into my head here. Remember those comments that Marchand had at the end of the Four Nations, poking Kachuk? Sometimes when you open your mouth, it comes back and bites you in the ass. And now he is joining Kachuk and the Florida Panthers.
That happens all the time.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment in Canada, Andy. You didn't know that?
And I'm going to hope here as a Bruins fan that Marchand is a rental for the Panthers, because if he resigns there, this gets even more difficult to swallow. To watch him and Kachuk team up in Florida potentially against the Bruins on an annual basis would be that'd be tough to watch.
Let me ask you this question. So after Peyton Manning retired, who was the Patriots' greatest rival from Crossing Sports, if you will? Who was the Patriots' greatest interconference rival from 2016 till 2020 before Brady left? Ravens, maybe?
Chiefs or Ravens?
Okay,
Chiefs,
so
Ravens.
So you know what this would have been like, guys? I feel like to Cross Sports, this would have been like in 2019 when Tom Brady was so miserable, or 2020 even, finding out that the Patriots traded 2019 Julian Edelman to the Chiefs midseason.